Hey, this is Amanda here from SplitSum. If you've ever wondered what SplitSum was like, but maybe too shy to book a demo with me, I'm recording this so that you can just watch it, and I'm going to do the demo. So I'm just going to quickly go through just kind of what SplitSum is. So if you think of businesses like Uber and Lyft, these big platforms that have the ability to take payments and then they automatically divide it between the business and like the drivers, that's essentially the same functionality that SplitSum is. So for example, Lyft actually uses Stripe, and they use Connect accounts for their drivers and they pay the drivers automatically at the end of each sale. SplitSum has enabled smaller businesses, like for example, I own a tattoo shop, whatever business you might have, smaller businesses like ours, to benefit from this payment splitting. And this is only possible to do with Stripe. So Stripe is a huge payment processor, but they have an API that allows third-party businesses to create custom solutions. So that's what SplitSum is. So now I'm gonna just minimize myself here, and I'm going to put me over here. And I'm going to show you and quickly just explain the three different tiers. So these are the three tiers here. The main difference between them is the amount of contractors and the amount of cashiers that you have. For example, tier 1, you can have 1 cashier account, 5 contractor accounts, and the rest is the same. Tier 2, you can have up to 10, 1 cashier account. And then with tier 3, you get extra functionality. So you can have up to 3 cashier accounts, up to 20 contractor accounts, and you can have unlimited card reader connections if you need more than one. And you can do inventory tracking and splitting. So what inventory tracking and splitting means is that you can, if you have products that have a different split or services that have a different split with your contractors, you'll want that, because with these, you can only have one split with that person. So that's the basic difference between them. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a really quick tour around just the platform itself and what it looks like. This is the main dashboard for the admin. So when you create an account, you are the admin, you control all the settings. So this is what you see. This is a quick view of today's activity. You can see your transactions from today, and then what fees you collected, and then the gross volume. And down here, you can see the collected fees from your contractors for the given month. But this just gives you a quick overview of what's sort of happening, lay of the land. This is your payment activity. What you'll see is the total amount charged, and this is your cut. If there's a tip, you'll see a breakdown underneath here, which shows the base amount plus the tip. Then you have like the status. This is, complete, pending. And then over here is the description, the date, and who it was split with. If there's no split, it will say no split. And over here, you can just filter these transactions. If you're looking for something specific, you can filter by payment links or non-payment links, essentially. Status, you can filter by any of these statuses. And then you can filter by contractor, and you can combine these. So if you want to look for payment links for this contractor, then you have it here. And then on each payment, you have some other options. So you can view the receipt, you can email the receipt, you can view it in Stripe, or you can refund. When a payment is pending, this is usually for payment links. You can view the link, you can click to copy the link URL, or you can disable the link. And once the link is disabled, you can then delete it if you want to clean up the screen. So down here, here we have your contractor list. Like this will just show you the contractor that you added. You can add another contractor by clicking here or over here. For each contractor, once they're active, you'll see their fee percentage, and that's how much you retain, the fees for the current month, and then their lifetime value. So this page is just a reports page that shows you overall balances, the fees collected, monthly breakdown, and you can look through past months here, and then contractor overall totals down here. So over here, we've got your account settings. This is for the admin account. So if you want to change anything about your account, you do it here. And this is your business settings here. This is only used for your invoices, so you don't have to fill it out if you don't want to. This is where your payment and billing information is. This is the tier that you're subscribed to. Your billing address is here. Your subscription is, if it's active, it's here. And then these are listing of all your invoices, which you can click to view. Okay, so Stripe settings I won't get into because once you're set up and looking at this dashboard, you shouldn't have to ever go in there and change it. It's a one-time setup. So I'll just skip that for now. Devices and locations, this is just where you store information based on your card readers. So locations would be your physical location because you have to assign physical location to a card reader. And then these are devices down here. It's Wi-Fi devices are listed here. Tap to pay and Bluetooth devices will not be listed here. So if you only use a Bluetooth or tap to pay device, you will not have anything in here. Now, and down here, enable tipping. So if you want to enable tipping for your contractors, you can turn this on here. Tipping is only possible with physical Stripe card readers. If you're using tap to pay or payment links, tipping is not allowed on those, unfortunately. If you have it tipping enabled, when you go to send the payment to the device, it'll pop up with do you want to leave a tip? And there'll be some preset options. So it'll be 15%, 20%, 25%, or custom. And you just give that to the customer, let them put in what they want, and then they can process the payment however they choose. And then the system will automatically send the tip to the contractor. Okay, so this is the users page. This is where you can add a new cashier account if you want. So the admin account, that's just you. You can click there to edit it. Cashier accounts will be under here. This account doesn't have any. And then down here, there's user permissions. So these are the permissions that are on by default. So for contractors, they can create their own payment links by default, view their own payment activity, and then able to create point of sale payments. I'll actually just turn this on, but this one is normally off by default. So what you want depends on your business needs. I spoke to a business the other day and they said, well, we won't use payment links. So you just go in here, turn it off. They don't need to use payment links. And able to create POS payments gives them the ability to accept payments to themselves that split with your business with the card reader that you've attached to the website. So now down here we have cashier accounts. So these are the default permissions. Essentially all they can do is create payments on behalf of your business and your contractors. Refund payments is off by default. This is because obviously you only want to give this functionality to people that you trust. So the admin can do refunds. If that works for you, great. If you need to give this account the ability to do that, you can do that here. Now, very quickly, I'm just going to discuss Stripe and the transaction fees and how that works in SplitSum. So Stripe's transaction fees, and this can change. So if you need to look at the fees, you go visit stripe.com and /pricing, and you'll see what the fees are. But generally, currently in the UK, they're 1.5% plus 20p. As soon as you process a payment, the transaction fee will come out of the business's account, and then the contractor will get their cut plus any tips. If you have contractors that are on like high percentages, SplitSum, because you set the fee for the contractor as a percentage, you have the ability to recoup some of that fee. So what I mean by this is, for example, like, in my tattoo shop, I've got some guys on 70%. And that's a huge percentage to then have to pay the fee myself. So I essentially tack on half the fee to what I recoup from them. So their percentage that I put in SplitSum is 30% 0.75. So I'm only paying 0.75% on their payments. And not only is like splitting payments pretty unique and there's not a lot of platforms that do it, I'm not aware of any that give you that sort of flexibility where you can recoup the fee with your contractors. So now I'm signed into a different account now so that I can show you inventory, because that demo account didn't have inventory. So inventory is in tier 3, and inventory essentially gives you the ability to split, have a different split with your contractor. So say in here, in contractor accounts, your split with your contractors is 60-40 or something like that. And say there's a specific service that they provide or a product where the split is, 80-20. That's what inventory gives you the ability to do. So you can see in here, I've got inventory items, and they can be really specific. So like, this is, for example, like we would have like an aftercare tub at the tattoo shop that wouldn't have a split, so that's no split. And then over here, for example, if say I have a different percentage with this person for an appointment, you would put a base price, tick that it's a service, and put the split in for that. So that's a different service. Then you have, I've got this like art print down here. These are just examples because this is a testing server. But you know, you could have art print with like a different percentage, and they all have different percentages, so that you don't have to come and edit the person's percentage in contact or accounts every time you want to process a different sort of payment. So this gives you like a lot of flexibility. And with the inventory stuff, you can track quantities if you want. And yeah, you can sort the list. The reason there's an image is because when you go to accept a payment, the image will be there. So if you can scroll through and click what it is very, very quickly. Okay, so there are 3 different types of payments, ways to accept payments in SplitSum. All of them have the same basic payment form. It looks the same, and it functions the same. It just processes the payment in a different way. So the first one I'm going to talk about is payment links. So if you wanted to use SplitSum and you didn't want to have to buy a card reader, you have 2 options. So you can do payment links or you can do tap to pay. First, I'll talk to you about payment links. And you can use payment links alongside a card device if you want. I do this at my shop. We use payment links for deposits. But you can use payment links for in-store payments if you want. So this is a basic payment form. This user does not have inventory, so it looks slightly different. If you have inventory, this is what you see. So you have a payment to a contractor or inventory item payment. The functionality of the page works essentially the same. So with all payments, you can process a single payment or you can have multiple payments in one go. So on this page, all you need to do is add an amount and select your contractor. The description, you see there's no red asterisk. It doesn't have to be put in. Personally, I like to put in a description because I want it to be something meaningful, so that I know when I'm looking at my business transactions, but you don't have to put anything in. You can just leave it blank. So yeah, then you put in your amount, who it's for, and then you click create payment link. And now you're taken back to your payment activity page. You can see this is what happens when you don't put in a description. It's not the prettiest, but it's just the default value. If you do want to put something there, then this is where it would show. So you can see up here, it says your payment link has been created and it can be accessed here. You see it's up here pending, and you can view, copy, or disable. So if we just click to view it. Now this is like just what a basic payment screen looks like. This says SplitSum over here because I'm using the SplitSum Stripe account for this demo account. It wouldn't necessarily look like this. You would set up your business logo and your color scheme within Stripe. But this is where the payment form looks like, and the client would fill this out. Okay, so what I've got here is, this is my phone setup. If you've got the SplitSum app, when payment link is paid, so I'm just going to fill this out and use test card details. And I'm going to hit pay. And now you can see, I'm wearing my watch, so the notification came up on here, but you can see that there's a little dot here. I just got a notification as soon as that was completed. So I could go in here. I can see now this has been paid and my notification is in here. And then I can see this is the payment. And down here it says how much you received. And then you can choose to email the receipt right here to the customer, or you can click to view the receipt. This will open up the Stripe receipt page. So payment links are actually totally viable for if you wanted to do in person, if you have this set up. So if you have you can create a payment link, easily just send it to your customer, and then as soon as they pay it, you'll just get a notification, boom. So it's actually pretty viable if you wanted to use this in store without having to get yourself a card reader. So this account is not signed up to what's on the phone here, but I'm just going to show you here. If you wanted to add multiple items or use inventory, I'm going to show you what it looks like here. So this user has inventory. So you've got your contractor form, your inventory form. When you go on inventory, you can start typing. So if I do, here we go, appointment with Amanda. This is the one that I added in that was a service that had a different percentage. So once you add this item here, you can change the price. So if actually the tattoo is $200, I can just do that and do that. So then you can either create the payment or you can add it to the payment. So I click there, add it to the payment. Now we've got that. And now we say, oh, they want to buy an aftercare. Select that, add the item to the payment. You can add as many things as you want, and then when you're ready, review, and you just double check, okay, is this what I want? If you want to change anything, you can remove. If you want to add something else, you can add something else. But I'm done here, so I'm going to press create payment link. And then you'll see down here, you'll see multiple items, aftercare tub, and then appointment with Amanda, and the breakdown of each one. And then this is what you would get total from when that's paid. So the payment pages look basically the same for every type of payment. So that's a payment link. Now, if you want to accept payments and you don't want to get a card reader, and if you've got an Android device, you can use Tap to Pay. Unfortunately, Tap to Pay is not available on the Apple app just yet. We're hoping that this can be available in the next few months, but currently Tap to Pay is available on Android. So basically what Tap to Pay means is that you can use your phone as the card reader. And so if your average sales price is under £100, this is a really viable option for you as well, because you can just literally just use the app. You don't have to get any sort of card reader. If you want tips and your average sales price is over 100, it's not going to be the most viable for you. Why that is because it doesn't have an insert, right? It's just a phone. So you can only just tap onto the device. If a lot of times banks, if someone tries to tap for a higher amount, they say, well, actually, I need you to insert it and put your PIN. You can do PIN entry on Tap to Pay, but it's not necessarily the most reliable. You might run into some customers not being able to process payment because the amount is too high. But if your volume is, if your average sales price is lower, then you can definitely do that. So I'm going to show you what Tap to Pay is like on the Android device here. So bear with me moving this around. So this is the Android app. It's basically the same as the iPhone app, but the iPhone app doesn't have Tap to Pay. So Tap to Pay, you hit here. And now the first time you use it, you have to, just trying to get no glare. Okay, the first time you use it, you have to choose a location. So if you don't have a location set, you need to go add one on the website. But we've got a location here, so we're going to click that. The first time you do it, it might take a second to initialize. So we're just going to give this a minute to go through. And now you see the payment screen. So this basically looks the same as the one on the website. This account doesn't have inventory, so the only option is to contractor payments. So I'm going to fill this out. So I'm going to do a £50 payment. I'm going to put a description as test payment. And then I'm going to select my contractor. And then I'm going to accept the payment. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's tapped behind the device. I'm going to take the card. And now you can see you've got the same complete page. And then from here, you can email the receipt, or when you're done, you just press done. And then you can see your payment down here. Next time you go back in, you won't have to add your location again. If you want to add multiple items, you can, let's just say, add this item, and then we'll add this item, and then when you review, and then you can accept the payment. And there you have it. So now I'm going to show you point of sale payments. So with point of sale payments, you have two options. You've got this reader right here, which operates via Bluetooth. And then you've got this reader right here, which is a Wi-Fi reader. This reader, because it's Bluetooth, needs to be used via a phone. So either the iPhone app or the Android app. You cannot control it through the web. This device you can use through the web because it's Wi-Fi. So you have to make sure this is on the same Wi-Fi network as whatever your device is. The app browser on your phone, browser on your computer, browser on your iPad, whatever it is, just all connected to the same Wi-Fi, then you can control this one. So I'm gonna first show you how to accept a payment with this one. So to do that, you need to go to the app. So I'm gonna go here and click point of sale payment, and I'm gonna search for my Bluetooth device, make sure it's on. Okay, and now I see my WisePad 3 here, that's what this is. So you hit connect, and then you can see it beeped and it flashed. So now we have our payment screen. So now you can basically do the same thing. You can add one item, you can add multiple items. So I'm just gonna process a payment here. We'll just do test payment, and then I'm gonna select a contractor and then hit accept payment. And you can see it comes up here. And so now I'm gonna tap. Approved, and then you can see this change to complete. So you can email the receipt straight from here if you'd like, or be done. Now, if you go back into SplitSum on the browser, you can hit refresh and you can see like all of our new payment stuff that we just did. It's all in here as well. Okay, so I've just quickly logged in on the phone with an account that has inventory, so I can show you what that looks like on the app. So we're gonna search for our Bluetooth reader. We see it here, we're gonna click it. It beeped. So now this is what you see, to contractor to inventory. So obviously this is the same form that I was showing you before. This is what the inventory tab looks like. So you can see here, you would easily see the images. So if there was something specific you wanted to look for, this only has a couple things added here. So I'm just gonna click on this one and it'll tell you what it is, who it's split with, and then the price. And like I said, this one can be changed if you wanna change it. If you change the quantity, this one only has one left here, so you can't add more. So let me add this one to the payment. You can see it pops up there. Let me hit aftercare tab. So you can see here, if you want to add more, you can add more and not change the price. If you did want to give somebody a discount, just change the price on here. So we'll add this to the payment. We'll review payment items. So yeah, you say, that looks good. I want to accept the payment. So you hit that. And now you can see it's complete. And then you see the payment complete page. So that's this card reader, the Bluetooth one. Now I'm gonna show you point of sale payments. Okay, so if you wanna use the Wi-Fi device, you can do that from the browser, Safari, and any device, your phone, your computer, your iPad, or you can do it on the app. So either one, it doesn't really matter. The way you add the device is in here, devices and location. So I've already got this device added in here, so I don't need to do this. The tipping doesn't work on with testing, so I can't show you the tipping. I'm not even going to turn that on. But the tipping would just show up on this screen, and then the customer can input. So if I'm on the browser, I go here. The first step is to discover the device. So we click this, and then you make sure this is on and in range, and then you see it down here. It's active. We're going to hit connect. And now we're back at that same payment form that you've seen before. So then you just add your payment item. So I'm just going to say test service. We'll select a contractor. And then I'm going to say this is a product and that I don't want to split. So now I'm going to review it. I see, okay, that looks good. I'm going to hit send to device. And now you can see it here. So then I'm going to just tap. And it's complete. And give it a second and here we go. Now we see payment complete on here. If you want to do this on the phone, so if you want to do it via the phone app, this is how you do it. So you click a point of sale payment, and then you search for your Wi-Fi device. And we see it listed here, so we're going to click on it. And now we see that same form again. So obviously if you want to add multiple items, you can. If you want to process a single one, you can process a single one. So I'm going to do just a single one. And then I'm going to select a contractor and I'm going to hit accept payment. And then we'll see it come up here. And then I'm going to tap. And you can see it's approved. And then as with the other ones, you can email the receipt right from here, or you can be done. So that's basically it. In the app, with payments, all that you can do is email or view the receipt. You can't actually process any refunds or anything like that. If you want to do any of that, you're going to need to do that within the web app. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so if you want to process a refund, all you need to do is come into the web app, you click here, you click refund. Now this screen will pop up. Essentially, at the moment, you can only refund the total amount. Any money split with a contractor will be subsequently pulled from that contractor's account. So if you want to process the refund, you hit confirm, and that's it. It's been refunded. And so now if you go and view the receipt, so you do get a refund receipt with Stripe. So, oh, my pop-up is blocked. Okay, this is the receipt, and this was what it looks like. It'll tell you this is when it was refunded, and it just says it might take 10 days for it to appear in your statement. So that's what those look like. If you want to send your customer a receipt, we can go here and we can do email receipt, and then you just put the email address in. And then that has been sent. So this is what that email would look like. So you see payment receipt, the description, the service provider, the date and time, and then the amount breakdown. And then it tells the customer if they have any questions to email your business and not SplitSum, because it's for your business. So that's basically the platform. It's really super, super simple, but yet really flexible and easy to use. So yeah, so the platform is perfect for businesses like, I have a tattoo shop, nail salons, hair salons, beauty clinics. If you use independent contractors, you can benefit from this. If you're already signed up for VAT, this will take your contractor's earnings out of your VAT turnover. So you can seriously save you some money. If you're not registered for VAT, this using SplitSum will mean that your turnover is truly reflective of your actual business incomings and not inflated because of your contractor's money. So if you do reach the VAT threshold with that, you can feel comforted knowing that you only have to pay 20% on, or whatever percentage your VAT would be, on what the business actually takes in, and not on your contractor's money, because we all know that that would sink my business. I couldn't do that. So you do want to make sure that your business practices are actually compliant. So what we recommend is, if you have independent contractors, you should really have an agreement with them. And we have a sample agreement that you can use. But you really should have all these things in writing and clarify that you only accept payments on their behalf, and that they are the benefactor, you don't control their money, et cetera, et cetera. We have a whole template available to download on the website. But it's a good thing to get that in place so that if HMRC ever come knocking, you can show them, clearly this is the money is split. I don't ever get this money. We have this agreement that I'm only accepting money on their behalf and they pay me the fee. So that's basically it. That's SplitSum in a nutshell. If you have any questions that I didn't cover in here, you can always shoot me an email and I'm more than happy to get back to you. You can DM me on Instagram or TikTok and I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want to sign up, currently we're doing a 45-day free trial. So this gives you a lot of time to set it up. You can slowly transition. So what you can do is you can set it up and maybe set up one contractor on it and just kind of get a feel for it, and then just slowly onboard. You don't have to feel this pressure to just switch like that. So you can get started at your own pace. And if you want to sign up and you want help setting up, you can email me and I will walk you through it on a video call. It's fairly easy in the setup. Basically everything that you set up only has to happen once, and then all you do is just you process payments. So the setup it takes a few minutes, and maybe 5 minutes, but it only has to be done once, and then you never have to change it again. But I'm more than happy to walk people through that if they want to be walked through it, if you're not tech savvy or whatever. And then I can also show you how to accept payments and everything in person. So yeah, that's basically it. If you made it to the end, congratulations. And yeah, I hope to see you on the platform.